Hello and welcome everyone to this week's short installment. This will be board number 12 in the top 50 selected brevities from 1956 to 2006. This was a series of brevities that ran in the periodical Qi, I think back in 2006 or 2007. Red was Yu YouHua, who is known for his extremely aggressive style. Black was a very well-known and strong player from Guangdong, Master Liu Xing, uh, who has retired many years ago. This match was played in 1978 and it was the Chinese National Indivduals Championships. It was the fourth round. Uh, Grandmaster Liu Hua was still very young back then, and Master Liu Xing was already in his mid 30s. I can't remember. Uh, in this board, I found another commentary on the internet, and I combined both commentaries into one board. Now, Grandmaster Yu Hua started with the elephant opening, and Black countered with the central cannon, which is one of the most popular ways of countering the elephant opening. Now, in this match, Grandmaster Yu Hua chose to play h8 plus 7 instead of the usual h2 plus 3. H2 plus 3 is more commonly seen even nowadays, whereby Red would later develop his pieces as the screen horse defense against Black's central cannon. It will be a switch in the change. It will be a change in the colors. Now, there are many variations, very complicated variations, which I shan't go over in this short video. And after Red played h8 plus 7, Black continued with h8 plus 7 also, and Red continued with r9 plus 1. Now, r9 plus 1 is okay. Another possible or viable approach would be c2 equals to 4 for the sandwich horse defense as Red against Black central cannon. So, as can be seen, there are many variations and sub-variations, which I will not go over. p3 plus 1. This was a soft approach to the game. Black would try to sound Red out and see what he had planned for his opening and try to counter more accurately. Now, r9 equals to 8 could also be played, but if r9 equals to 8 were played, Black would have the option of playing c2 equals to 3, and this would be a rather ideal opening situation for Red, because the chariot would have guarded the third rank, and Red's formation was essentially very stable. So r9 equals to 4 was played, and Red decided to use the 5-7 cannons. Now this is called the 5-7 cannons, even though one of the cannons was played on the third file. Okay. Now this move was a little bit controversial because Red was too overly aggressive and moved his chariot to the cross riverbank rank, which is usually frowned upon, because when the chariot is on the cross riverbank rank or on Black's riverbank rank, it will be very susceptible to attack by the Black pieces. So Black chose to sacrifice his central pawn to block the Red chariot. Now in the match, Red played c8 equals to 3 to try to gain initiative. Now, it would not be a good idea to play r4 equals to 5 now, because, and at this point in time, we can see that the Red chariot would not have many good places to move. If it captured the pawn, Black would simply advance. Black would simply move his cannon away, and there will be many more complicated variations, but generally speaking, Black would have the initiative. So, because the Red cannon was not attacking the Black pawn, Black chose to continue to sacrifice the pawn. and with h7 plus 5, the horse will now be protecting the cannon and also attacking the chariot at the same time. It would also act as a cannon mount for black to capture the central pawn. This would not be an ideal move. Yu Hua played r7 minus 1 in this situation. Red could have, it was suggested that red could have played r7 equals to 6 instead, and red would still have a very playable game. So because of this slight error of trying to protect the central pawn, black immediately chose to develop his left chariot, forcing the elephant eye horse, and red would immediately try to gain control of his riverbank rank. At this point in time, red decided to retreat his cannon. Now, Grandmaster Yu YouHua was known for his very aggressive style, but in this case he tried too hard. Instead, red could have simply played c8 equals to 5 to try to trade material, and things would still be okay. And black chose to develop his chariot. By now, black could have seized the initiative from red because the cannon had advanced and retreated, and so did the chariot. So at this point in time, we can see that all of black's major pieces had been moved, and they were now commanding very important lines and intersections on the board. So Grandmaster Yu Hua tried to continue to attack from the central file, and black could now start to fight for initiative and gain more tempo. With by advancing the horse over here, the cannon will now be attacking the chariot, and the pawn would also be attacking the red central pawn at this point in time. This would force the red chariot to move away, and as can be seen, the awkward positioning of the red chariot at this point would now be very obvious, because it cannot move here or the black chariot would capture it, and moving it to the edge file was also not possible because the horse would still capture it. So the only viable intersection was r7 equals to 6. And because when the horse is at this position, it is called the tiger-headed horse, and it's a very powerful place to be, because as can be seen, the black horse could be developed with h3 plus 2 or h3 plus 4 in other situations. And once the horse were able to move to either of these sections, red could go for the elbow horse attack, or could also attack the palace corner for the pal corner horse attack. 1 equals to 2 to protect the cannon, because red was prepared to play h4 plus 5, and black chose to continue to attack very aggressively. This would force the red chariot back to defend. Now it would seem that the black horse was now done for. But this sacrifice was pre-planned by black. Instead, it would have been better for red to have played c5 equals to 6, because red would still be able to hang on, and the game would not have ended so quickly. So because of this move, black decisively decided to sacrifice his horse and command a very important rook file with r8 equals to 4. Now this was a very good move. And red would have to capture the horse and give up this very important file. Now as can be seen at this point in time, the advisor was very vulnerable to attack because the horse cannot protect the advisor at this point in time. And another brilliant sacrifice by black. Now this would jam up the entire black palace, because if red captured the black chariot, let's say if red captured the black chariot, it will be a smothered checkmate. So this offer of a chariot was very brilliant, and this forced red to play h4 plus 5 so that black could not capture the cannon for the checkmate. So red would gain back lost material. Now on the surface it would seem that black's chariot was now at a very undesirable position, because red would now gain back lost material with c2 minus 1. This is a very commonly used tactic, but in this particular situation it would be very, very dangerous for red. Now at this point in time, black did not back down and continued to attack very aggressively with c5 plus 4. And in the match, h7 plus 5 was played. Now one might wonder, would playing c5 plus 2 for the check be viable? The answer would be no, because black would counter. And again, black would have a very, very powerful move with r3 equals to 4 to block the elephants, as the cannon would now be threatening for a smothered checkmate. Red would be forced to move the elephant away, and black could simply retreat his chariot to gain material, and the resulting material on the board would weigh greatly in black's favor. So c5 plus 2 would not be a good idea. Capturing the chariot would be even worse. So as can be seen, if red captured the, say, at this point in time, the black cannon would capture the black horse again. If black chose to capture, again, as can be seen, black would now have gained a major piece, and red's positioning was very vulnerable. So it would be black's one chariot, one horse, and one cannon versus red's horse chariot combination. And for at the master or grandmaster's level in China, any person with the material advantage, and if the opponent was not attacking, there would be a great chance of winning the game. So that was why c2 equals to 7 or c5 plus 2 was not visible. So in the match, black played h7 plus 5, but as can be seen, red's attack on this flank was simply too powerful. Red played very aggressively with r3 plus 1. If the elephant captured the black chariot, it would be a smothered checkmate. So h5 plus 7 was played by grandmaster Yu YouHua. So by moving the horse to this position, the elephant could now capture the black chariot. Okay, black countered in this manner, and grandmaster Yu YouHua tried to counter very aggressively with c2 plus 8 to try to attack with the heaven and earth cannons. Prophylactic move, and red tried his last ditch attempt to advance his horse, and black countered with r3 equals to 4 to command again this very important rib file, and to prevent any last ditch attempts by red who still could try to attack. And grandmaster Yu YouHua did so, but it was too late. So this would end the game, because there would be no way that red could escape unsheathed, or Red will simply lose more material in the game. So that is why Red decided to resign. So as can be seen, back in the game, sorry, okay, 3+5. This move to charge the chariot across the river was a little bit controversial. Red tried too hard and continued with C8+3. As can be seen, this cannon advanced and then retreated and then moved to the center. So the Red had lost some initiative just by moving this cannon and the chariot alone. And this would be proved to be the greatest reason for Red's downfall. So I hope you have enjoyed this very short video. I'm still experimenting with different ways to improve on my videos, and please tell me, give me any constructive advice to help me in my work. And if you like my work, please subscribe to my channel for my encouragement. Thank you.